Welcome, Agatha Christie's The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. We're going to unravel this perplexing case chronologically, seeing it through the eyes of the man who, on the surface at least, recorded it all, Dr. Sheppard.
Yeah, it's a classic locked room mystery set in this seemingly tranquil English village, King's Abbot.
But underneath that calm exterior, oh boy, there lies a tapestry of deception, so meticulously woven, it basically redefined an entire genre.
And this deep dive is precisely for you, our discerning listener. For those who want to revisit this masterpiece, not just for the plot, but for, the subtle brilliance and those groundbreaking insights Christie just packed into every single page.
Exactly.
We'll explore how the legendary Hercule Poirot, who supposedly retired to grow prize-winning vegetables, of all things,
Right.
peels back layer after layer of these hidden motives and, frankly, startling truths. He shows us how critical thinking and observing the unimportant are really the true tools of detection.
Absolutely. Our mission today is to dig into the first-hand accounts, the hushed confessions, and the crucial insights you've provided us with. We're following the suspenseful, chronological unraveling of a crime that shocked its original readers and, honestly, continues to astound.
So get ready, because in King's Abbot, the quietest places often hold the loudest, most unexpected secrets.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our story opens not with a bang, but with a sudden, chilling death that really shatters the calm of King's Abbot. It's Friday, September 17th. Dr. Sheppard, our local physician and narrator, gets called to the home of Mrs. Ferrars, a wealthy widow.
She's found dead. An overdose of Veronal, a powerful sedative, is the suspected cause.
Yeah, and it appears to be suicide. The report says she's been dead some hours.
But almost immediately, that first seed of doubt is planted. And interestingly, not by a detective, but by the sharp tongue of local gossip.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Christie immediately establishes that in a small village like this, official pronouncements often meet some serious unofficial skepticism.
Totally. Dr. Sheppard's sister, Caroline, who seems to have this almost supernatural ability to sniff out everyone's business.
She really does.
She immediately dismisses the idea of suicide. She points out that for the last 6 months, Mrs. Ferrars had looked, and this is a great phrase, hag-ridden.
Yeah, tormented, exhausted,
Yeah.
like she couldn't sleep.
Exactly. Caroline's intuition, just born from intimate village knowledge, it acts as our first really essential red flag.
And Caroline doesn't mince words, does she? Her reaction just challenges the whole premise of the death. She asks, and I quote, "Why on earth should Mrs. Ferrars wish to commit suicide? A widow, fairly young still, very well off, good health, and nothing to do but enjoy life. It's absurd."
It's almost like she's narrating her own parallel investigation right from the get-go.
Precisely. This initial skepticism is so crucial. It's just a masterclass in planting a doubt right from the outset, forcing us, the readers, to question every factor we're given.
Yeah, the insight here is that the official narrative, the immediate conclusion drawn from just circumstantial evidence, it's rarely the full truth, especially when it's filtered through the intricate social dynamics of a tight-knit community.
Right.
The whispers, the knowing glances, the, often instinctual observations of people who are intimately connected, they often hold the first critical cracks in the facade.
It immediately suggests that Mrs. Ferrars' life wasn't quite as idyllic as it looked on the surface.
Exactly. Hinting at some secret anguish that might have driven her to such a state, or, maybe a very different fate altogether.
So with Mrs. Ferrars' death kind of hanging in the air, let's introduce a really central figure in King's Abbot. His life is about to become tragically intertwined with hers. Roger Ackroyd.
Ah, yes, the local squire, effectively.
He's prominent, wealthy, lives at Fernley Park. But his personal history isn't without its shadows. We learn he had this short, pretty painful first marriage to a woman named Patton, described as a dipsomaniac, someone suffering from chronic alcoholism.
A difficult past there.
Yeah. She died 4 years later, leaving Roger with her 7-year-old son, Ralph Patton, whom Ackroyd raised as his own.
And Ralph is now 25. Handsome, but, consistently described as a wild lad.
A continual source of worry for Ackroyd is the phrase used.
And this is where the village gossip, as recorded by Dr. Sheppard in his narrative, becomes incredibly significant.
Right.
It's freely conjectured, as he puts it, that Ackroyd and Mrs. Ferrars were more than just friends. Their intimacy had become quite marked after her own husband's death.
And a marriage between them was widely expected, wasn't it, once her mourning period was over?
Exactly. This isn't just idle chatter, it's a critical piece of social intelligence. It really sets the stage for the drama that's about to unfold.
There's even a kind of grim symmetry to it. Both Ackroyd and Mrs. Ferrars had been through these difficult marriages, both suffering at the hands of alcoholic spouses. Quote, "It was freely conjectured that at the end of her period of mourning, Mrs. Ferrars would become Mrs. Roger Ackroyd." This must have been the talk of the town.
Absolutely. And this gossip, it hints at a deeper, more intertwined connection between Mrs. Ferrars and Ackroyd. It suggests her death might not be an isolated event, but one with direct implications for him.
And maybe for others in his immediate circle, too.
Precisely. The expected marriage, while maybe offering a fresh start for Ackroyd, could also significantly alter the fortunes and expectations of those dependent on him.
Right. Think about the implications. New inheritances, shifted loyalties, potential disinheritance even.
It adds another very potent layer of potential motive to this evolving mystery. The social fabric of King's Abbot, seemingly so placid, is actually, well, a hotbed of speculation and hidden desires.
Roger Ackroyd's home, Fernley Park, it's really a microcosm of these simmering tensions. It's a hub of activity, expectation, populated by this diverse cast of characters.
Yeah, you've got the household itself. There's Miss Russell, described as a redoubtable, meaning formidable or strong-willed housekeeper. She's been there for 5 years.
Which is noted as an unusually long tenure, implying she knows the household's inner workings pretty deeply.
Definitely. Also living there are his widowed sister-in-law, Mrs. Cecil Ackroyd, and her charming daughter, Flora. They arrived from Canada just over a year ago.
It's important to note the specific dynamics here, isn't it? Each of these individuals brings their own personality, their own secrets, their own aspirations to the household.
For sure. Miss Russell's long tenure, like you said, implies intimate knowledge, positioning her as a potentially crucial witness or maybe even, well, a suspect.
And the arrival of Mrs. Cecil Ackroyd and Flora, as we soon learn, has already kind of disrupted the established order, particularly with Mrs. Ackroyd apparently putting Miss Russell in her proper place.
Right, these aren't just background characters. Their lives are inextricably linked to Roger Ackroyd, and very soon to his tragic fate. Christie meticulously places these pieces on her chessboard, each with a potential role to play.
And here's where the shadows truly begin to gather, where the seemingly isolated death of Mrs. Ferrars connects directly and chillingly to Ackroyd. The evening before Roger Ackroyd's murder, something truly shocking happens. Mrs. Ferrars, the woman initially thought to have committed suicide, made a devastating confession to him.
What was it?
She poisoned her first husband, Ashley Ferrars.
Whoa.
Okay. What's more, she revealed she was being blackmailed for huge sums by someone who knew of her crime, and this immense strain had driven her nearly mad.
Wow. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. So the initial suicide is now dramatically transformed into, well, a murder committed by Mrs. Ferrars, but the implications are huge.
Huge.
More importantly, the powerful destructive motive of blackmail is introduced, and it's a colossal sum, £20,000.
Which was an absolutely staggering amount back then.
Unbelievable. This revelation is the true catalyst for the events that follow. It sets Ackroyd on this dangerous path. He's consumed by this desire for justice for Mrs. Ferrars, and implicitly against her blackmailer.
The doctor explicitly quotes Ackroyd saying, "He was poisoned." And when Sheppard asks who by, Ackroyd replies, "His wife."
That changes everything we thought we knew about the opening event. It's just a bombshell dropped right in the middle of our understanding.
So with Mrs. Ferrars' confession hanging heavy in the air, this web of trouble and suspicion just tightens around Ackroyd, mere hours before his own death.
Right.
We learn his adopted son, Ralph Peyton, is engaged to Flora. An engagement Ackroyd had kind of pressured.
Okay.
Ralph is in the devil of a mess financially, and he's terrified Ackroyd will cut me off with a shilling, basically disinherit him.
Financial pressure. Okay.
Then there's Ursula Bourne, the parlor maid. Turns out she's secretly married to Ralph.
What? Okay, another secret.
She had a stormy interview with Ackroyd on Friday afternoon, revealed their marriage, which probably led to her dismissal.
Wow. Okay, so high drama there, too.
And Flora's mother, Mrs. Ackroyd, she's anxious about money herself, desperately hoping for substantial settlements from Roger. It's just a maelstrom of converging financial anxieties and personal secrets.
This convergence of financial motives and deep personal secrets is absolutely critical. Ralph's words, which Caroline overheard, they paint a vivid picture of his desperation.
Yeah. What did he say again?
Something like, "He's been pretty fed up with me for the last few years. A little more would do it. And we need the dids, my dear. I shall be a very rich man when the old fellow pops off."
Chilling. That's not just idle speculation. It's a direct articulation of motive.
Exactly. Each character seems to have a strong reason for wanting something from Ackroyd or for wanting to prevent something from happening. It creates this fertile ground for conflict, deceit, and, well, potentially murder.
The secrets swirling around Ackroyd aren't just family drama.
No, they're about to reach a catastrophic boiling point. It's really a testament to Christie's character building that so many individuals have such potent yet hidden motives.
Okay, so the fateful night of Ackroyd's murder. It begins with Dr. Sheppard arriving at Fernley Park for dinner. The time is noted, 7:25 p.m. As he approaches the drawing room door, he notices a sound from within the shutting down of a window, or so he thinks at the time.
Okay, a detail.
Then, quite awkwardly, he almost collides with Miss Russell, the formidable housekeeper. She's described as breathing hard.
Suspicious.
And she quickly, almost defensively, justifies why she's there. It's a fleeting moment, but a curious one.
Definitely.
Later, Dr. Sheppard realizes that sound couldn't have been a window. He corrects himself, saying it must have been the lid of a silver table in the drawing room.
This is an excellent early mystery. A perfect example of how Christie plants these subtle inconsistencies right from the beginning, things that only really reveal their significance much later.
Yeah, the apparent shutting of a window is immediately questioned by the doctor's later, almost casual correction, pointing to the silver table lid.
The quote highlights it. I noticed, just as I was turning the handle, a sound from within the shutting down of a window I took it to be. The sound I had heard, therefore, could not have been that of a window being shut down.
Miss Russell's hurried presence, her agitated state, her quick justification, it's all highly suspicious, isn't it?
Very. What was she doing there, out of breath, near that specific silver table? This detail, seemingly insignificant at the time, is one of the many threads Poirot will later pull on. It shows how even our own perceptions can be subtly steered.
Okay, so after dinner, Ackroyd. He's visibly agitated, clearly under immense strain from Mrs. Farrar's confession. He takes Dr. Sheppard to his study.
Right.
He then uses this rather transparent excuse, faking a medical consultation, just to get Parker, the butler, out of the room.
Wants privacy, urgently.
He even asked Dr. Sheppard to close a window, specifically noted as a ordinary sash type, open at the top before finally revealing the full, horrifying extent of Mrs. Farrar's blackmail and her murder confession.
Ackroyd's urgency and his elaborate ruse to dismiss Parker clearly indicate profound distress, a desperate need for privacy.
He's about to reveal something huge, something that has clearly shaken him to his core.
His words underscore the pressure. Sheppard, nobody knows what I've gone through in the last 24 hours. This business of Ralph's is the last straw. But we won't talk about that now. It's the other.
He's on the verge of exposing the blackmailer, a path that will prove fatal for him.
And that meticulous detail about the window, just seemingly a trivial request. It becomes another small, significant piece in the puzzle. Suggests a desire for total privacy, maybe, or perhaps preventing something from being overheard.
And a message from the dead does indeed arrive. Parker returns with the Evening Post.
The Post.
Among the letters is a long blue envelope, distinctive because it's in Mrs. Farrar's own handwriting.
Oh, wow.
Ackroyd stares at it like a man turned to stone, whispering, her writing.
Chilling.
He also expresses this queer feeling of being watched, spied upon. Really unsettling.
Yeah, like he senses danger.
He starts to read the letter aloud. It ominously states, a life calls for a life, and promises to name the blackmailer.
He reads it aloud to Sheppard.
He starts to. But then, in this moment of extreme tension, he pauses. He insists on reading the rest alone.
Okay. This is pivotal. Highly suspenseful. Perhaps the climax of Ackroyd's final hours.
That letter directly connects Mrs. Farrar's death to Ackroyd's imminent fate. It confirms the blackmailer's existence.
And Ackroyd's feeling of being watched, his sudden pause in reading, his insistence on privacy, it just heightens the tension dramatically.
The quote, "You're sure you shut the window? All this evening I've had a queer feeling of being watched, spied upon," adds to that pervasive sense of dread. It's like he senses his own mortality closing in.
That unread portion of the letter is now effectively a ticking time bomb, isn't it? Holding the key to the entire mystery, and crucially, placing Ackroyd in mortal danger. It's a classic Christie setup for murder.
And this leads us to what will become known as the critical 10 minutes. Dr. Sheppard, having been dismissed by Ackroyd, leaves his study at 10 minutes to 9. That's 8:50 p.m.
Okay, precise timing noted by the narrator.
The incriminating letter is still unread by Sheppard. He states in his narration that he reached the lodge gates at 9:40 p.m., claiming it was a 5 minutes walk.
Wait a minute. 10 minutes to cover a 5-minute walk.
Exactly. It seems like such a small, almost throwaway detail, but it's one that Poirot, with his famous little gray cells, will later seize upon with devastating effect.
My immediate reaction, and certainly Poirot's later, is that this is a glaring anomaly. A 5-minute walk becoming 10 minutes, especially on a chilly night when you'd probably hurry.
Right. It screams of deliberate obfuscation.
This isn't just padding the narrative, it's a strategically created window of opportunity. What could have happened in those extra 5 minutes?
And why is Sheppard, our narrator, so specific about the times? It's almost like he's drawing attention to the discrepancy himself.
It's almost a challenge to the astute reader, isn't it? This discrepancy in the timeline is a vital clue, one of the most subtle yet potentially damning details in the entire story.
It creates a critical window of opportunity for someone. And we only have Dr. Sheppard's word for what actually happened in those 5 extra minutes.
It's an important moment to keep in mind. It definitely sets the stage for a dramatic revelation much later.
The answer to what happens in the study arrives in a truly shocking fashion. Later that night, a telephone call comes to Dr. Sheppard's house.
Okay.
Ostensibly from Parker, the butler, reporting Ackroyd's murder.
Ostensibly.
Yes, because when Dr. Sheppard rushes back to Fernley, he finds the real Parker, who vehemently denies making any such call.
Okay, a fake call. Intriguing.
Sheppard and Parker find the study door locked from the inside.
The classic locked room.
They're forced to break in through a window, only to find Ackroyd dead, stabbed from behind with a unique dagger. And the letter.
Gone.
Gone.
Wow. The locked room aspect immediately complicates the crime, suggesting an impossible murder. They quote, "No man could stab himself in such a way. It's murder right enough," confirms the grim reality.
And the choice of weapon. Also significant. A distinct Moroccan or Tunisian curio.
Belonging to Ackroyd himself, right? And usually kept where?
In the silver table in the drawing room.
Ah, back to the silver table. This immediately links it back to that mysterious sound Dr. Sheppard heard earlier when Miss Russell was nearby.
So the fake phone call, the locked room, the unusual weapon, it immediately creates layers of baffling mystery.
And the crucial absence of Mrs. Farrar's letter points to a highly motivated killer, someone who absolutely needed that information to disappear.
Inspector Davis arrives, and the initial police scene reveals even more puzzles. Outside the study window, they find clear footmarks.
Footmarks.
With rubber studs on the soles, one set pointing inwards, one outwards, strongly suggesting an intruder entered and exited through the window.
But wait, the door was locked from the inside.
Exactly. It's a classic contradiction.
Absolutely. The footprints are a brilliant piece of misdirection. They immediately suggest an external intruder, directly contradicting the locked room. The inspector notes several clearly defined footmarks, those of shoes with rubber studs in the soles. One particularly clear, one pointed inwards, another slightly overlapping it, pointed outwards.
It's meant to point suspicion towards an outsider, a common trope.
But Poirot, as we'll see, looks beyond the obvious. Now, the dagger is quickly identified, right?
Yes, by Raymond, Ackroyd's secretary, and Major Blunt, a houseguest. They confirm it's one of Ackroyd's curios, typically kept in that silver table in the drawing room.
The origin of the weapon from Ackroyd's own collection, and specifically that silver table, a detail already flagged by Dr. Sheppard earlier, it adds another layer of intrigue. It forces us to reconsider the timeline and the movements of everyone in Fernley Park that night.
Now, as the police begin their investigation, a flurry of conflating witness accounts start to emerge. It gets messy.
Okay, let's hear them.
Raymond, the secretary, claims he heard Ackroyd's voice at 9:30 p.m.
After Sheppard left.
Yes. Talk about calls on my purse.
Oh.
Impossible to accede to your request.
Okay.
Raymond thought it was Dr. Sheppard still with Ackroyd.
Okay. Places Ackroyd alive at 9:30 p.m. Talking about money. Crucial timing detail.
Parker, the butler, says Flora left the study at 9:45, 9:45 p.m.
Even later.
And she told him Ackroyd didn't want to be disturbed. Parker himself is described as suspiciously flustered.
Flustered, eh? Interesting. His statements about disturbing Ackroyd raise immediate suspicions about his own actions, maybe his knowledge.
Flora confirms leaving Ackroyd at about 9:45, after saying goodnight. She also told Parker not to disturb him, but she says Ackroyd was alone.
Alone. Her account seems to corroborate Ackroyd being alive later, but the timing is vague, and claiming he was alone.
It strains credulity given the circumstances, maybe.
And then Miss Russell, the housekeeper, she states she closed the silver table lid earlier because it was open.
Confirms she was there.
But she didn't notice the dagger was missing.
Didn't notice the distinctive dagger, a family curio, was gone. That's highly questionable. It's like everyone has a slightly different version of events, or perhaps a conveniently selective memory.
This is where the human element, with all its biases, anxieties, hidden agendas, just enters the scene. It creates this rich tapestry of conflicting testimonies that Poirot will later have to untangle.
Raymond's testimony placing Ackroyd alive at 9 feet. Flora and Parker pushing it even later to 9.45. Miss Russell near the weapons location, but seeing nothing.
These contradictions, delays, evasions, they create a deep web of potential misdirection. It makes it incredibly difficult to pinpoint the exact time of death or the perpetrator based on these initial testimonies alone. It's almost as if the entire household is complicit in some conspiracy of silence, or at least self-preservation.
And into this labyrinth of conflicting accounts and baffling clues steps our mysterious neighbor, a certain Mr. Poirot.
Ah, the man with the marrows.
Exactly. Remember the strange little man who threw a vegetable marrow over the wall at Dr. Sheppard while he was gardening, claiming it was too large for the stomach?
Yes. Well, wouldn't you know it, Mr. Poirot turns out to be none other than the legendary Hercule Poirot.
Supposedly retired to cultivate prize-winning vegetables in a quiet corner of King's Abbot.
His retirement is clearly a facade. This introduction marks a significant shift in the investigative approach. We move from the rather conventional local police work to the unique genius of Poirot.
Flora's exclamation is perfect. Why, he's Hercule Poirot. You know who I mean, the private detective. They say he's done the most wonderful things, just like detectives do in books.
It captures the awe and expectation around him. His sharp, analytical mind is about to bring an entirely new psychological perspective to the case, moving way beyond the local police's initial, somewhat tunnel vision theories of just a simple burglary.
Poirot, true to form, immediately delves into what he calls the unimportant details. He meticulously examines the study.
What does he notice?
He notes that the chair, found pushed back against the wall when the body was discovered, was actually initially 2 feet out from the wall.
A displaced chair. Seems minor.
Exactly what he says regarding the chair. It is completely unimportant. That is why it is so interesting. Classic Poirot.
That maxim just underpins his entire philosophy. His focus on these seemingly trivial details is precisely what differentiates his method.
He dismisses Inspector Raglan's simple burglary theory, finds it far too crude.
Right.
Then he discovers a scrap of starched cambric, like a fine white linen or cotton, often used for aprons.
Okay, where?
In the summer house, along with an empty goose quill.
Ah, the summer house findings. Critical. The starched cambric suggests a maid's apron, hinting at a secret rendezvous.
And the empty goose quill. What's the significance there?
Well, that's a brilliant question, because it's a very specific clue. Historically, and certainly in the criminal underworld of the time, an empty goose quill was often an improvised tool for snorting powdered drugs, like cocaine.
Ah, so not just an empty pen. It's a strong indicator of a clandestine meeting, maybe a secret drug habit.
Exactly. And potentially a connection to someone with an American accent, as other clues will later suggest.
He also learns that Ackroyd had considered purchasing a dictaphone.
The dictaphone mention initially seems like a minor point, but oh boy, will that become profoundly, tragically significant in the final reveal.
This man truly sees everything.
Poirot is already connecting seemingly unrelated dots, isn't he? Building a psychological profile of the crime and its perpetrator.
As Poirot delves deeper, his little gray cells begin to unravel this complex web of hidden relationships and potent financial motives.
Okay, what else does he find?
He finds a woman's wedding ring inscribed from R, March 13th.
Where?
In the goldfish pond. A very curious place for such a personal item.
Definitely odd. From R. Could be Ralph. Raymond.
He then uncovers the staggering truth about the blackmail. Mrs. Ferrars paid a colossal £20,000 in the past year alone.
£20,000, as Dr. Sheppard exclaims, in 1 year. It just highlights the desperate stakes involved, the immense pressure she must have been under.
Raymond, Ackroyd's secretary, confesses to borrowing £500 from Ackroyd. A relatively small sum, but still a debt, a dependency.
Another financial entanglement.
And then a genuine bombshell. Poirot learns that Major Blunt, one of Ackroyd's house guests,
Yes.
received a legacy of around £20,000 around the time of Mrs. Ferrars' death.
Whoa. Okay, that's significant. Blunt's sudden wealth.
These revelations expose this deep and widespread web of financial distress and secrets. It broadens the suspect pool considerably beyond just the obvious household members.
Major Blunt's recent substantial legacy is particularly intriguing given the context of blackmail and murder. It forces us to consider the possibility of an outside connection, or maybe a carefully constructed alibi.
These details connect the characters through money, motive, hidden lives.
Yeah, moving us further away from any simple explanation for Ackroyd's death and deeper into the murky waters of human greed and desperation.
The webs of deception continue to tighten, and some characters start to crack under Poirot's relentless scrutiny.
Like who?
Flora. She makes this dramatic confession, admitting she stole money from Ackroyd's room.
Stole money. Why confess now?
She proclaims, "I am a thief, yes, a common, vulgar little thief. Now you know. I am glad it has come out." Then she abruptly announces her engagement to Ralph, supposedly to show loyalty.
Highly contradictory actions. Guilt, loyalty, desperation maybe. Her statement shows the immense pressure she was under and maybe a desire to control the narrative somehow.
Meanwhile, Inspector Raglan is convinced Ralph is guilty, but Colonel Melrose, the chief constable, defends him.
So official opinion is divided.
And Caroline, Dr. Sheppard's ever-gossiping sister, casually reveals a crucial detail.
What now?
Ralph's boots were black.
Black. But didn't Sheppard mention brown shoes earlier for the footprint?
Exactly. Sheppard described the footprints as being made by brown shoes with rubber studs. Caroline's correction directly contradicts our narrator. She also, with her mongoose instinct, suspects Ursula Bourne.
Okay, the conflicting information about Ralph's boots, that's a crucial inconsistency. It immediately flags Dr. Sheppard's narration as potentially unreliable.
Caroline's mongoose instinct for gossip, combined with her suspicions about Ursula, they're important threads too.
Yeah, she's often dismissed as just a busybody, but her observations prove surprisingly accurate. Highlights the value of information from, well, unexpected sources.
Now, for a major breakthrough. This one fundamentally shifts the entire timeline of the murder.
Okay, I'm ready.
Poirot sets a trap. He sends a fake newspaper report about Ralph's arrest in Liverpool.
Clever. What happens?
It prompts Miss Russell. In a desperate attempt to protect her family, she confesses that Charles Kent is her illegitimate son.
Her son. The mysterious stranger.
Yes. She reveals he has a drug habit, an American accent, remember the quill?
Yeah.
And that she met him in the summer house at precisely 9:10 p.m. on the night of the murder.
9:10 p.m., that's early.
Right. She met him there to prevent him from coming to the house and causing trouble.
So that explains the stranger, the accent, the quill, the rendezvous.
And provides him with an alibi for the later times the police were considering.
Her desperate declaration. Charles Kent has been arrested at Liverpool. He never touched a hair of old Ackroyd's head. He never went near the study. Aims to protect him.
Separately, Ursula Bourne finally confirms her secret marriage to Ralph Payton.
Ah, the ring inscription. From R, March 13th.
And she admits to that stormy interview with Ackroyd on Friday afternoon where she revealed their marriage, leading to her dismissal.
Wow. Okay, this is truly pivotal. It fundamentally changes the entire timeline of the murder, forcing everyone to reevaluate.
Critically, Miss Russell's meeting with Charles Kent at 9:10 p.m., a full 20 minutes before Raymond's supposed sighting of Ackroyd at 9:30, moves the effective time of Ackroyd's murder much earlier than the police's working theory of 9:30 or 9:45.
It also clarifies Ursula's earlier evasiveness and reveals the depth of the deception around the Payton marriage and Miss Russell's hidden life, too.
This breakthrough doesn't solve the murder on its own, though.
No, but it reopens the question of who actually killed Ackroyd, and crucially, when, with a new and unsettling urgency. The carefully constructed alibis and timelines are basically in shambles now.
The stage is now meticulously set for Poirot's ultimate revelation. With all the pieces gathered, Poirot hosts what he playfully calls a little reunion at his house.
Bringing everyone together. Classic Poirot.
He invites everyone directly involved. Mrs. Ackroyd, Flora, Major Blunt, Raymond Parker, Miss Russell, and Ursula.
A whole cast.
He begins by dramatically announcing what many had already suspected, but few dared confirm. Ursula Bourne is, in fact, Mrs. Ralph Patton.
Boom! It's a masterful stroke to ensure everyone is present for the final act. The revelation, after so much speculation and deceit, must create palpable tension.
Mrs. Ackroyd's shriek says it all.
Oh, Ralph, married, last March. Oh, but it's absurd! How could he be?
It captures the shock and disbelief.
Poirot has all the pieces, and he's about to reveal precisely how they fit together. He's making sure everyone is present to witness the unraveling, to see their own deceptions reflected back at them. It's a public accounting, really. A moment of reckoning.
And then, the ultimate surprise. Another ripple through the room. Ralph Payton, who Poirot had confirmed was not in Cranchester,
Yes.
suddenly appears at the reunion.
What? He shows up?
He explains he did bunk, ran away, because Dr. Sheppard had told him suspicion would fall on him or Ursula.
Sheppard told him that. Interesting.
He feared Ursula might have killed Ackroyd in a fit of rage after their argument.
Wow, so he suspected his own secret wife? Highlights the intensity of the family drama.
He insists he's innocent, but admits he has no alibi, says he just tramped about the lanes after leaving the summer house around 9:45 p.m.
Ralph's dramatic reappearance brings all the major players into the same room for the first time since the murder. His explanation reveals the profound distrust and fear swirling among them.
His confession of having no alibi places him squarely in the crosshairs of suspicion, doesn't it? Makes him look like the most likely culprit.
Exactly. And that sets up Poirot's final, shocking twist all the more powerfully. Ralph states, "I give you my solemn word that I never went to the study, that I never saw my stepfather alive or dead." His apparent guilt, presented so plainly, is precisely what makes the true solution so impactful.
With everyone assembled, the tension almost unbearable, Poirot declares that to save Captain Peyton, the real criminal must confess.
Putting the pressure on.
He then holds up a crumpled wireless message from a steamer bound for the U.S. states dramatically that the truth goes to Inspector Raglan in the morning.
This is a masterstroke of psychological pressure, isn't it? Creating this unbearable deadline for the murderer.
The wireless message is a clever red herring for the culprit, meant to provoke a confession.
But for Dr. Sheppard, sitting there in that room, it must be a terrifying omen, signaling that his carefully constructed web of lies is about to unravel.
Poirot then dismisses everyone, except Dr. Sheppard.
Ugh. The public dismissal, leaving only Poirot and Dr. Sheppard. It signals the true target of Poirot's meticulous investigation. It focuses all the remaining intense tension onto just those two men. The air must have been thick with unspoken dread.
And now, for the ultimate revelation. Poirot's little gray cells connect the dots with a precision that borders on terrifying, exposing Dr. Sheppard's guilt.
Okay, here we go.
Poirot lays out his deductions systematically, dismantling the doctor's entire narrative, the one we've been reading.
Bad point.
First, that glaring timeline discrepancy. Dr. Sheppard stated 10-minute walk from Fernley at 8:50 p.m. to the lodge at 9:00 p.m. for a known 5-minute distance.
A missing 5 minutes.
Poirot explains that wasn't dawdling. That was his window of opportunity to commit the murder. He was acting.
Right, second point.
Second, the dictaphone. Ackroyd, Poirot reveals, was already dead at 9:30 p.m.
But Raymond and Blunt heard his voice.
The voice they heard discussing financial requests. It wasn't Ackroyd, it was the dictaphone, which Dr. Sheppard, being noted as mechanically minded, had adjusted and timed to play, creating a false alibi for Ackroyd's time of death and a decoy for the murderer's departure.
And the missing dictaphone itself. A suit in bulk, Poirot notes.
Conveniently hidden, Poirot deduces, in Dr. Sheppard's black bag.
Incredible. Third,
the footprints. The murderer used Ralph Patton's second pair of shoes, black boots. Remember, Caroline confirmed black, not Sheppard's brown ones, from his bag.
to create incriminating footprints outside the window, leading suspicion away from himself and onto Ralph.
Exactly. Before changing back into his own shoes.
Calculated. And fourth,
The dagger. Dr. Sheppard, with his intimate knowledge of the household and that silver table,
yes,
took the distinctive Moroccan dagger, a weapon that couldn't be traced to me, while he was alone in the study after the crime, just before Parker supposedly telephoned the police.
this systematic breakdown is the ultimate aha moment. Not just for Poirot, but for the listener, for anyone who's been reading along through Sheppard's eyes.
Poirot meticulously connects these seemingly disparate clues.
The timeline discrepancy, which Sheppard himself documented so carefully, becomes damning evidence against him. Poirot's observation, at 9:30, Mr. Ackroyd was already dead. It was the dictaphone speaking, not the man. Just shatters the long-held belief about Ackroyd's time of death. Exposes the whole elaborate ruse.
The fake footprints, designed to frame Ralph, exposed by the crucial detail of the black boots, a detail Sheppard thought insignificant enough to misreport, or perhaps deliberately misreported.
And the dagger, taken from the silver table after the murder, implicates the only person who had the opportunity and the presence of mind to do it without being seen. It's just a breathtaking reversal of expectation.
But beyond the method, the sheer ingenuity. What was the motive? What could drive a doctor, our narrator, this seemingly trusted pillar of the community, to such extreme, cold-blooded lengths?
The motive, as Poirot dramatically reveals, was absolute self-preservation. He states, It was you who blackmailed Mrs. Ferrars.
Sheppard, he was the blackmailer.
Yes. Poirot continues. You lost most of it in speculation. Then you put the screw on too hard, and Mrs. Ferrars took a way out that you had not expected. If Ackroyd had weren't the truth, he would have had no mercy on you. You were ruined forever.
So Dr. Sheppard, the trusted local physician, was Mrs. Ferrars' blackmailer all along.
He squandered her payments in failed speculations. He knew that if Ackroyd, who now possessed Mrs. Ferrars' letter naming her blackmailer, learned the truth, Sheppard's career, reputation, his entire life would be utterly destroyed.
So his meticulous planning wasn't just to escape justice for murder.
No, it was to cover up an even deeper ongoing crime that had already, indirectly perhaps, led to Mrs. Ferrars' death. He eliminated the only man who knew his secret and was about to expose him.
And that clever yet ultimately flawed telephone call deception. How did Poirot figure that out?
Ah, yes. Dr. Sheppard used an American liner steward, a patient of his, who happened to be passing through King's Abbot Station to make that false phone call reporting the murder. The steward's actual message when he tried to call Fernley for Sheppard was simply no answer. But Dr. Sheppard twisted this ambiguous information
To create his own perfect alibi, making his return to the scene seem like the altruistic act of a dedicated doctor being summoned.
Exactly. It's an ingenious piece of misdirection. But it relies on a very specific interpretation of a vague message.
So how did Poirot break it?
Poirot, being Poirot, had sent a wireless message to the steward's liner. He confirmed the true content of the call, that the steward had indeed tried to call, gotten no answer, but had not reported a murder.
Exposing Sheppard's manipulation of the information.
It revealed the ingenious yet ultimately unraveling nature of his alibi. It was a brilliant move by Sheppard, but Poirot's meticulousness, his understanding of human nature, caught the small, critical flaw, proves that even the most elaborate deceptions can be undone by a tiny, overlooked detail.
In a chilling final act, Poirot offers Dr. Sheppard another way out.
What's that?
An overdose of a sleeping draught. Veronal,
Yeah.
ensuring Ralph Patton is cleared and a scandal is contained.
Wow. Like Mrs. Ferrars.
He also delivers this stern warning. It would be most unwise on your part to attempt to silence me as you silenced Emma Ackroyd.
Acknowledging Sheppard's ruthlessness.
And he suggests Sheppard finish his very interesting manuscript, but advises him to abandon your former reticence. It's a chilling, almost compassionate ultimatum.
This is a truly chilling resolution. It showcases Poirot's moral compass, his intellectual prowess, and his profound understanding of human psychology. The offer of Veronal is such a dark echo of Mrs. Ferrars' death, maybe even Miss Russell's earlier chat with Sheppard about untraceable poisons. Layers of irony.
Poirot's warning against trying to silence him underscores the peril of underestimating the little Belgian detective.
And the suggestion to abandon reticence in his manuscript. It's a demand for the full, unvarnished truth, isn't it? A confession, effectively. This final exchange isn't just about solving a crime. It's about restoring a twisted moral order, even if it's done quietly, behind closed doors, to spare further public scandal. Hashtag tag outro.
And so, we've uncovered a truly shocking truth at the heart of King's Abbot, orchestrated by the very person chronicling the events.
Yeah.
This deep dive into the meticulously reconstructed timeline of Roger Ackroyd's murder shows us that even the most trusted figures can harbor the darkest secrets, meticulously weaving lies into the very fabric of everyday life.
And the revelation of Dr. Sheppard as the killer wasn't just a shocking plot twist, it was a literary bombshell. It truly redefined detective fiction at the time.
How so?
Well, it completely shattered the unwritten contract between the author and the reader, didn't it? Up until this point, there was this implicit understanding of fair play, that the narrator, even if not the detective, was basically a trustworthy conduit of information.
Right, you trusted the narrator.
Christie broke that trust. The insight here is really about narrative power, how very active storytelling can be used as the ultimate deception.
And how our preconceptions about whose perspective we're experiencing can blind us to the most obvious truths.
Exactly. It forces us to reconsider the entire genre, really, making us forever suspicious of that friendly, seemingly innocuous voice guiding us through a mystery.
What a profound thought. This story is such a stark reminder that appearances can be profoundly deceiving, and the most dangerous lies are often those woven by those closest to us, those we implicitly trust. The brilliance of Christie's work lies not just in the whodunit, but in how it challenges our fundamental assumptions about truth, perception, and narrative authority.
Precisely. And for you, our listener, maybe the final thought is this. What does it mean when the one person you confide in, the one recording the truth, is also the one desperate to hide it?
Yeah.
How many seemingly irrelevant details do we overlook in our own lives, maybe in our own trusted sources of information that could be telling a much bigger, much different story?
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? One that definitely lingers long after the final page.